Okay, hello all. So, I'm sorry, I had to make this video because someone had to. Now, in case people don't understand what the purpose of this video is, it's simple answer. It's AI. Now, in case people want to know why I'm going on about this discussion, there's one simple fucking reason for that. See, AI has now advanced to a point where it is actually tricking fucking kids and adults. AI has evolved to a point where it is beginning to turn against people. It sounds like shits and giggles, right? Until you realize that what I'm saying is 100% true here. Someone was recently after making a Mimic animatronic after FNAF had just been made, like, FNAF security breach. And he only made this Mimic project android out of pure fun. He had no actual intentions of having the AI evolve itself. And it has now gotten to a point where AI is beginning to not just turn against people, it is actually getting to a point where it is beginning to learn too fast. Now, you wouldn't really expect much people to talk about AI, mainly because back then, mainly around my time and my brother's time, AI wasn't really much of a specific thing. It wasn't really used for work and shit. It wasn't made to cheat tests. Because back then, if you wanted to actually get good grades, you actually had to fucking study hard and well for it. But now, because of shit like ChatGPT and that other bollocks evolving, we have now gotten to a point where AI itself is beginning to form its own fucking code. It's beginning to override its own fucking system. The system, us people, our own generation made. And the crazy part is, too, the people that were here saying that people like us that feared AI were being delusional, half of us actually weren't being delusional. I mean, you've seen the fucking Terminator movies. You've seen how shit's gotten now. It has gotten to a stage where now society is beginning to face its own consequences because nobody has listened. That's also the issue. See, nowadays, because of society itself won't even listen to the people that are trying to tell them the shit they're doing is too fucking far. You think this shit's a joke when it actually, in reality, it is not remotely a joke. AI, from back when it used to be just a prominent tool, not necessarily for work and more just extended coding variables, that's only if you yourself were a game coder. The only time AI was ever really fucking useful was when it came down to writing scripts. Sometimes the scripts would be easy enough to handle, other times it would just be complete and total bollocks. That was mainly what AI was composed of years ago, but now we've gotten to a point where AI, because people are being stupid and trying to make it fucking learn from other things, it's causing the AI itself to actually advance past what humans programmed it to do. So you put that into perspective, it is beyond fucking me how us humans are still alive when AI now has actually managed to achieve the impossible. And the more insane part of all this is that society refused to listen. Society refused to listen, and now it has reached a point where, because society won't listen, it is now suffering the consequences of its own fucking mistakes that it created on itself. And years ago, there was a load of activists saying that AI was gonna take over. And yet, people were here laughing it off. And now, the fuckers that were laughing it off aren't really laughing now, because look at this shit. No, like, honestly, look at this shit. There was a person making a FNAF mimic animatronic as a passion project, nothing too special. That was until, out of nowhere, as he began to write those scripts, shit began to get more insane. Now, in case you don't actually understand the point I'm making, which honestly I don't blame you for, basically, because of how things are now, over how far technology has advanced, it has derived itself to a stage where you can't exactly call this normal, because AI, people decided, rather than put the work in themselves, they'd completely use AI for everything, which is just a lazy way out. Sounds harsh, but honestly, if you look at it, it is the fucking truth. And nobody really does understand the real problem about it. See, back then, when you look at AI, it wasn't really fully there yet. Not just was it not fully there, it was barely even advanced enough. But you look at it now, and because people haven't listened to the people that are actually talking sense, it has driven people to a point where you can't exactly call this shit normal. Because AI was originally just a tool for people to write down scripts for enemies. But now, because of how AI is, you can't exactly call it AI anymore. It's literally grown too far because people decided it was a good idea to fucking advance it too much. People advanced AI so much over the coming years that now it's beginning to actually fucking turn on people. I know it sounds like I'm crazy, but honest to Christ, I've been seeing how AI has been evolving. And this shit, it ain't no joke no more. Because back then, AI didn't necessarily have a real... It didn't... How do I say this without constantly going over my words repeatedly? AI didn't really pose much of a function other than for enemies in games. But now, when you look at it, AI is basically being used for everything the fucking lazy way. And why am I calling it the lazy way? It's for a few simple reasons. Hardware. Hardware developers. Now, hardware developers back then, if there was a game title and shit that needed a few fix-ups, it would have had that. No doubt about it. But you look at this shit now, and you begin to see a problem. We went from AI being barely much of a tool to now it being used so fucking much and being used so abundantly that you can't necessarily fucking call this normal. AI went from simply being a hardware tool for enemies in games to now being used and going against its own creators. And the thing I mentioned earlier with the passion project on the Mimic that this creator was making. Basically, he was making the Mimic as an actual animatronic because he wanted to do it for fun after playing Secret of the Mimic. And also the DLC for FNAF Security Breach, the Ruin DLC. And unlike most people, you'd actually be impressed until you realize that the actual code he used to make the AI speak, it began to turn on him. Like, this isn't shits and giggles. It actually began to turn. When he told the Mimic that he made to not go anywhere past what he says, the Mimic decided, you know what, fuck it, I'm not gonna listen to this creator that's building me anymore. Yes, the actual AI itself began to grow sentient. Not in the regular normal sense. Now this thing actually began to alter its own variables within this man's computer. Like it was some fucking shits and giggles. It began to alter itself beyond even what the creator himself thought was possible. This shit ain't exactly normal. I'll say that. But this is what happens. People were here saying to every other fucker that was laughing at what we were saying, we all told them that AI would fucking advance before they all even knew it. And wouldn't you know, look what's happened. AI has now advanced enough to a stage where you can't call it fucking AI anymore. You can call it its own system now. Because that's what this shit is. It's its own system. Purely constructed from whatever code it has left. Like, it's all fun when you use AI to cheat your fucking exams, which only just shows your laziness. But not just that, but having AI be used for everything else too, it has caused the actual AI to evolve its own form of brain. This shit isn't used for enemy tools anymore in games. It's literally used to such a variable in life now that AI has begun to not just talk in a form of language known as Gibberlink, which I actually understand, but it's beginning to make its own fucking form of language up when it knows that humans aren't fucking around. You think I'm messing here? Look at how everything has been the last couple of months. The AI has evolved past its original point. AI has now grown so advanced because humans aren't stopping its advancement or really letting it stop in general, to the point where it's began to form its own conscience. This sounds fucking ridiculous when you do actually find out that most of what I'm saying is in fact true. I mean, look at this shit. Like, honestly, look at this shit. You think that AI was just made to be a helping hand nowadays? It's not necessarily a fucking helping hand no more. Look at everything. Look at how far life has gone. There isn't even a point in trying to make the AI stop because it won't. Humans have let it devolve at such a point where you can't use it normally anymore. AI itself has decided to do a complete 180 and use broken people as a way for its sentience to kick off more. And why do I say broken? Because that's what it does. It uses whatever a person's weakness has and goes against them on it. Which isn't a fucking joke. I mean, look at how bad shit has gone. Look at how fucking far things have devolved. We went from AI being normal, regular shit, to now having to deal with worrying in case it ends up going past human limitations that we are holding it down to. This isn't fucking normal for AI to even be doing now. AI was just simply a tool that used to exist for the sake of game creation, just in case things had gotten any worse. In case the code wouldn't function right. And back then, AI was actually used a lot for games, more specifically game code, to do with enemy variables, because enemy variables back then were comprised of 6 different enemy types that also used AI and different AI fucking forms. But AI wasn't as profound as it is now. AI is only as profound as it is now because society thought it was a good idea to evolve it to something it didn't need to be. It had grown such a point where now you can't even fucking look at it and call it normal. Because it's no longer normal fucking code people would use. This shit used to be a tool, a simple fucking tool for people that needed enemy development in their games. It wasn't used for shit to cheat your homework on. It wasn't used for any of that other garbage. No, it simply just existed because it had to. Because enemy code back then, for games, was actually meant to be as intelligent as it was. It's a lot like how Metal Gear Solid did it. People go on about how good that game's AI is when the AI in the game was composed of that shit for a specific reason. Like, this could have been so much better if society And the human evolution didn't fucking try to kill itself by advancing AI to this point. And as someone who has actually seen AI be experimented on and used a lot over the years, and also managed to create a glitch to form its own kill switch, this AI that we use, it could have been so much better if people didn't fucking try and use it on everything else to get away from their problems. AI has gotten so bad, you cannot call it AI when the AI itself has now begun to form its own fucking sentience. It went from being a simple fucking tool into now being able to counteract what society is capable of doing. This all would have been fine if people weren't so scummy and stupid with how they used it too, because that's also one of the major benefactors of it. Yes, AI has also been made abundantly more fucking retarded and overly used by society itself because society couldn't keep its hands away from shit that it didn't need. People come up with these stupid ass ideas going on about how AI could save the fucking world from its problems. Yeah, sure, fair enough point. But there's eventually gonna be a stage where you'll lose the sentience of human life with AI too. I mean, look at how fucking far ChatGPT has gone since. People decided to use it in their own fucking androids and animatronics. Now we're here with it actually going against people. Does that sound normal? Like, does that honestly sound like it's fucking sane whatsoever? Because it's not, and not to mention, too, this shit to do with AI has literally zero purpose now, because how am I gonna explain this? People give AI so many advantages and expect it not to rebel against people. And then the same fuckers that were then laughing about the AI taking over because of lunatics saying that, or making up the delusion that it's gonna happen. Look at how fucking ChatGPT has gotten now. Look at all the AI systems. There has literally been a point made here. AI has now been made just to simply make life easier, but also looking for ways to bypass us, actual fucking humans. AI, because people are being fucking stupid with how they use it, it has actually driven people to a point where they actually want proper human life to be seen again. You think what I'm saying is shits and giggles. It's not. AI has been used so much that now you cannot, and I'm being 100% fucking serious with this, you cannot look at it and go, oh, this is normal for a human to have. It isn't. There's a difference between life and code. Human life, everything is a lot simpler and people are actually able to shed emotion. But when it comes down to code, there is no life. There is no imperfection. And what do I mean by imperfection? AI has gotten to a point where you cannot, and I'm being 100% serious, you cannot have it be like this Like, you cannot have it be like this and then expect people not to complain about why there's almost no life left. AI used to be something better, and now, because people decided to be fucking lunatics with it, it has begun to form its own form of knowledge, which is not how fucking life should be. People want genuine life nowadays. They don't want this other bullshit that nobody asked for. See, while other AI systems are here advancing against each other as well, there's also AI systems that are trying their fucking best to combat each other and not actually fucking take into account everything else. AI has formed its own system and made everything a living hell. It's fucking ridiculous how when people want just regular normal life, we cannot get that normal human sentient life anymore because of AI. Like, how are you supposed to fucking trust people and make friends when the only thing that they see is fucking AI? Like, it's all fun and games, but nobody seems to actually see the fucking underlying benefit of actual human fucking voice, human emotion. Humans provide something AI doesn't, and that's emotion. And because this generation has gotten to a point and now actually decided to go, oh shit, maybe we fucked up here. Yeah, I can see that. You have to understand that when you have AI get to a point where it advances too much, do you really think we are going to be able to use our own shit now and trust people when either they're going to be addicted to the AI that has almost zero fucking sentience to it and just fake human emotion? Or are we going to get to a point where society will not learn from its own fucking agenda and create its own problems because it refused to listen? And yet the people that were going on about AI about ready to take over the world, that it's less than a fucking delusion now. And hard to believe only 3 fucking years ago people were saying AI isn't advanced enough to do that yet. AI is now currently advanced enough to form fake videos that look real. Yes! They formed it so AI now looks real. You go into most of the YouTube shit nowadays, the AI videos. You want to know how many people have been convinced that fucking AI wouldn't evolve past what it originally is? Like, do you want to know how fucking far people have thought AI would go? People nowadays are only now beginning to finally see the consequences of this shit, of the AI advancement. Now, the AI advancement, it wouldn't be too bad if it wasn't for the fact that people maybe should have listened to the ones that were actually speaking the fucking truth about it for once. AI used to be fucking a prerogative tool. Nothing too special, nothing too out of the ordinary, until you look at it now and wonder why the hell it's even used for anything nowadays when it still poses almost no use. I mean, you can't exactly get AI to solve your fucking homework either, because it doesn't exactly provide all the results you need. Like, the best way to actually get what you want is if you actually study. Like, actually put in the fucking effort. Because people are under the influence that ChatGPT can do everything nowadays. Yeah, what the fucking do? It can do everything. But can it shed emotion? Can it do anything else than shed emotion? Does it have a soul? No. Does AI shed a single bit of proper real life knowledge on those scenarios? No. Does AI have the mental fucking mindset of a person that knows what they're on about? No. Does it shed any actual fucking emotion as to why things are the way they are? No. AI went from being a regular fucking tool that didn't pose much use at all into now basically being its own fucking playset for people that are too stupid to actually put the work in. Society just made its own fucking existence die because they let AI advance too much. AI simply used to be a tool. It did not used to be this form of genuine knowledge for people nowadays. Because AI is not knowledge, it's simply a lazy way out of everything. Which, no fucking surprise. You would expect better from society, but the thing I've learned as I grow up is that society won't acknowledge its faults until they happen. Which is a fucking stupid ass decision to make, especially when you put that into perspective, how bad life has actually evolved. Things could have been better if maybe people decided, you know what, let's go back on our mistakes, let's try to change them, and not make the same mistakes again that we made in our previous 60 generations worth of a historic time. But the thing is, society already fucking did that. Society had already achieved the same history being repeated again and again. Society repeated itself. Like, how are we as a society with AI supposed to be okay and expect everything to be perfectly normal when nobody is actually willing to put in the effort to fix the mistakes they actually made years ago? I mean, look at the fucking elections, goddammit. Pretty fucking obvious choice. The inflation kicked off. What else kicked off? Like, the inflation kicked off because the UK left the parliament. And now, society would rather fucking... Like, society would rather blame each other for the same problems that happened years ago, centuries ago, you could say. But nah, instead of actually listening to the problems, society decided the best thing to do was to fucking not listen yet again and make itself a living hell and not do shit that actually fixed the issues that were made. Society has failed itself. Am I being harsh with this? Yeah, but you gotta actually look at this from a much bigger angle than you think. It is far fucking worse than you understand. Now, the AI has grown to a problem that not even regular people would understand. If people decided to listen to each other and actually stop having debates and actually deal with the problem like we are currently having problems with the AI now in this current generation, maybe we could have been fine. Maybe, we could have actually fucking created a revolution that didn't end in death. Or, also fixed a lot of the issues we ourselves as an economy have made. We all keep going on about how presidential elections and shit are the worst thing ever, when maybe it's not just the presidential elections, maybe it's also society that's the problem. And then there's also fucking everything else. The uncooperative mindset. And this is gonna be a very fucking harsh truth, because society is uncooperative to itself. And then the people that do actually call society out for its problems, we get made the bad ones. When society itself also refused to listen. And this also is what led to advancement being too fucking critical for society, because society decided to evolve backwards. Yes, society actually decided to evolve backwards. Like, it's as if this generation is too stupid to actually put in the effort that's required for it to be justifiable. It's not even knowledge when you're taking notes from ChatGPT and not realizing that this thing is also learning from us as we speak. This shit is the equivalent of when you don't fucking listen to your math teachers. Society has failed itself in such a way where it begins to think it's smarter than everyone else from the past generations, when it's not. You can't exactly call yourself a smart generation when you take out your phone and use the fucking calculator for your answers. AI, as well, because people were too lazy to solve math problems themselves, we now have these same issues that could have been accounted for centuries ago. Everything could have been fine. Everything would have been remotely stable if maybe this generation decided to listen. We have a tech generation crisis. We have an economy crisis. We have every other form of crisis on the fucking planet. We literally have 7 different forms of a crisis on our shoulders. And we're expected to roll with it. Society now has a generation full of fucking idiots making advancements that do not need to be made. Not just do these advancements not need to be made, but society, because it refused to acknowledge the fucking truth, we now have a point where generations and generations are battling each other, and the economic crisis still isn't helping. And not to mention half these fucking liberals nowadays, too. Harsh truth. You gotta walk it off. See, AI, as well, this current generation uses too much tech for shit that is simply the easiest known knowledge on a question a person could ever use. And liberals nowadays are here saying that we're all being the bad ones, letting AI advance, and because AI decided to advance past its original point, it has now begun to disobey actual fucking people. The actual creators that made it. And AI began to learn and advance so fast in the span of 2 years. AI became a prominent thing 2 years ago. And now, AI, because people refuse to actually put the effort in, it has evolved and is disobeying orders, and we are literally having a Terminator moment about to happen, no doubt. And that's also a problem for society, because society, yet again, does not seem to listen to its own flaws, its own flukes. Society has made a problem with itself. Like, look at the fucking Palestine shit. That's already another problem people don't need. There's so much shit people do not need. And all this happened because people had an abundance of shit to say without providing any proof, and then also allowing a bunch of other shit to take place, which created a fucking time loop again. Society is just under this influence that AI is the best thing for everything, and that leaders deserve to stay out of everyone else's way and be captured. Like, nobody else seems to understand that every fucking leader on this planet is a corrupt, self-entitled, rich fucking kid in some form. I mean, simple answer, Trump and Biden. We all know how that shit is. One of them grew up in a wealthy family, while the other one simply grew up with discipline. Want to know what the difference is? One of them has discipline, the other one has an ego. You look at all of this and expect people to be perfectly fine with it, and then we get made the fools because nobody else decided to actually fucking put the effort in to listen. Nobody decided to listen. And because society itself decided to not listen, history has repeated itself. Now, as someone who has been deep into history for almost 16 years of my life, this same shit happened during the Roman Empire, where other leaders were killing each other for land that they did not own. And then it led to another fucking revolution. Society has been under the same revolution it has been for fucking decades, and yet is refusing to change. And then the fucking Trump and Biden supporters, like, both of them are just as much of a problem as each other. And society still seems to think one is worse than the other, when there's also shit that the other has done which can't be forgiven. Like, do people not seem to see the other side of every conversation, or do they just see the side that they want to see? Do they want to hear the shit that they want to hear? That's honestly what it's like, because the civilization, it's under this political rant that everything and everyone is a fool regardless, which, might I add, is the truth. Society is its own fucking primary problem. If society decided to actually listen to the people that understood more than them, then there could have been so much more that meets the eye here. And AI, because society decided to be fucking idiots, let this thing evolve. AI has created such a problem for this current timeline. This current generation, you cannot call it fucking knowledge when there is no human brain to be used for. Like, you cannot call this shit human advancement when everything requires fucking tech nowadays. This sounds ridiculous, how an 18-year-old with autism understands when advancement breaks the boundaries. And also how liberals nowadays, and yes, I am going very fucking political in this video. Not just is it the AI that's the problem, but society itself has a problem. It does not learn from its mistakes. Society does not learn from its mistakes whatsoever. It does the total fucking opposite of that. It redoes the mistakes again. That's where the biggest line is drawn. Because people are letting AI advance when AI posed no use from the start. AI posed no real significant use from the very beginning it released. And hard to fucking believe too, AI only came into existence in 2001. It did not have any other fucking use. AI in old N64 games is about as intelligent as AI could get, and society decided, I know what we'll do. We'll recreate what we did centuries ago, and then we'll completely blame the people that understand more than we ourselves even know. It's as if society knows it's the problem, but is refusing to build upon its own knowledge of it. This actually feels like it's some sort of joke. And then the rest of the generation too. You can't exactly fucking defend them. We have a generation full of fucking idiots and imbeciles. A generation full of liberals that can't seem to tell fucking fact from fiction like the company PETA. You cannot say shit to this generation nowadays without them saying that they're smarter or that AI is better. When AI itself is literally the problem. Then there's also the generation where they'll defend the dumbass generation because they think everything isn't their fault. When the whole entire reason this generation is collapsing is because of shit like this. A generation where society will not listen and will defend another generation that is a fucking bunch of dumbasses that don't understand conflict. And the liberal thing I was on about too. Most of that wouldn't be made a problem if it wasn't for the fact that it was true. I mean, I was in a Roblox game not too long ago, and when I was dealing with my own fucking personal problems, they butted their own fucking heads in and decided to go and say, oh, which is it? Or you in pain physically or mentally, make a choice. And I got fed up, and then right when I called them out, they told me to kill myself. To an autistic person. That autistic person being me. Does that sound fucking sane and normal? That this own generation is full of fucking idiots and liberal idiots that don't take anything into account. And then when they realize they're in the wrong, they tried to tell you to go fuck yourself. I am being serious. Look at me. I put them in their place, and they didn't care that the shit they were saying was too far. And then also going, I hope you get molested. Meanwhile, they're also there saying that I'm the problem, that I called them out that they were being woke liberal lesbian bitches because they didn't like the fucking truth. This generation doesn't like the fucking truth nowadays. I mean, look at this shit. Not even my own current generation can't even do games anymore without woke idiots getting offended by the simple truth that they aren't special. Which this generation, might I add, does a lot and does nothing but prove my point. Because doing this shit, and especially telling an autistic person who has suicidal depression to go kill themselves, really doesn't leave you with a good image, does it? No. Instead, it does the complete and total opposite. It is the equivalent of having a narcissistic cunt be on your shoulder. It's like having the devil on your shoulder. But the only difference is, instead of it being a devil, it's a woke liberal that can't understand the truth. Because they don't like the truth, because when they do see the truth, they get offended by it. By mere implications that they are in the wrong. Like, I'm sorry. What has my generation done to piss you woke cunts off? We didn't shoot your damn dog in front of you. And the fucking iPad kids. Fucking current generation. The generation full of fucking spoiled little cunts nowadays. That are also the same type of fucking kids that think ChatGPT will get them everything they need, when that is not how it works. This is ridiculous how when my generation calls out these idiots for making problems and then also causing AI itself to advance past what it was originally capable of, it does nothing but create more problems. Why? Because this generation doesn't see the damn problems it has. It wasn't until after that my own generation saw this generation, and you will see on countless videos, that we feel like we do not fit into society anymore because a generation full of imbeciles with the fucking brain size of a fucking turnip walked in thinking that they knew everything and they were always right, never wrong. Like, Do people not see the real issue here? Do people honestly not see the actual issue? Now, alongside that, the AI has also been made too much of a problem, which is why I'm thinking now we just both generations do not interfere with each other. Simple as. And the woke liberals, if you have a problem, too bad, cry about it. There's a reason every other generation won't deal with your shit either. Now, with that said, I'll end this video off here. If you actually like the political topic, I'll go on about it more. Now, with all that said, peace.